Welcome. As we get set up today for Sunday service, we hope you are going to enjoy and enhance the day. And I don't have a lighter. Gotta get a lighter. Live. I don't know if anybody's going to show up because we've been skipping a couple days, but hopefully, you know, it is what it is. Hopefully so. Dragon Dancer, hello, welcome in. Today's background music is by White Bat Audio on YouTube. It is a chill synthwave, chillwave, neon paradise, royalty-free, copyright-safe music for live streaming, but we don't monetize anyway, so it really doesn't matter. I just don't want it to be muted, because if it gets muted, it mutes us too. So,
good morning, Paranormal Witch.
P-Dubs in the house. Good morning. Sorry we missed last week, but here we are, and we've returned.
Happy Sunday morning to you both.
I constantly complain about my job. I actually like doing it, but the travel sucks. And I'm only pointing that out because I am not going to be on a lot of the Malice experiences until after March 3rd, probably. I maybe can hit one or two of them, but just FYI, I'm not quitting. I still enjoy doing the podcast on Fridays, but unfortunately my job, which usually has me home office on Friday, will now have me traveling on Friday. So, sucks as it may, it is what it is, as it shall always be what it is. Still monitoring the background here, making sure we have our connection good. So far, knock on wood, we're good. I'm gonna give it the full 5 minutes before we call circle, and then we will get started. We have a lot today. I thought we were gonna take it easy, but we ended up putting so much stuff together. It's like, yeah, we didn't do it the easy way. VG says hi.
VG says hello, everyone.
She says she has really missed our service last week and she is excited to be back in the saddle. She runs all of the things from the ground up.
She's our techie.
She's our techie.
She keeps all the wires straight, and connections secure.
And when they need to be pulled off, she pulls them off, which is more likely.
She's a good worker.
Got Dragon Dancer last night. Was great seeing you guys. I don't know, just because it's my thing. This blend is probably one of the favorite blends I've ever made. And its most base is basically Styrax and lemon. And then myrrh. That's the big pieces of it. I'm so excited. Turn that down a hair. So excited to kind of just, you know, keep that going because it just smells so good. I gotta make more of it.
I'm really liking this background music. Usually, I don't know. I really like this one.
Well, I've been using Harknunger a lot because it's royalty free and I really like his stuff. He's put out a couple new things. But I figured there was a little switch up here today.
Yeah, it's very nice.
So this is Chill Synth. This is the stuff I listen to when I'm working from home or when I have a lot of things that require attention.
Is this lo-fi?
It is synthwave.
Synthwave.
Similar to lo-fi, but not quite. Let's see. Connections still good. Let's see. And bitrate is very stable. So awesome. Now, let's see if that makes
no
it.
Testicle difficulties today.
Well, you just moved something highly met. Oh, can you turn the water off?
Yep. Don't want the pool to overflow.
Yes.
Babies.
Don't need. Yeah, we have to add the water to the pool. A lot because yeah, it likes to evaporate. Here we are. We're going to talk about casting a circle today and chanting. Those are two things that were actually already on our list. Interestingly, to do last week, but we had to cancel. And in last night's ritual that we did, which I wish everybody could have attended and come. That was nice, but it just lined up perfectly that was our topic today. So we're excited to talk about that. Got a lot of really good articles too. One of my favorite topics, quantum anything, and this one is oh shoot, I already forgot the name of it, but it's on my list. I'll say it. Quantum something. Quantum immortality is my topic.
Cool.
So,
It's a lot deeper than my two quick little things. It'll be interesting. I'm ready to hear about it. Quantum immortality.
Quantum immortality. If you're like me, I am not ADHD, but I am terrible at multitasking because my brain in the middle of what I'm doing starts to flutter off to something else, which, interestingly, I have almost all, not all, but almost hit the level of ADHD when you do the testing stuff, but I use a lot of devices to help me work through that. This music is one of it, so if you want to check it out, it's called White Bat Audio on YouTube. It's got it's live streaming, there's recorded stuff, and it's just really good if it's in the background. For me, it helps me focus on what I'm doing. So if you're that kind of person, this is a good one to do.
I am ADHD diagnosed, and I definitely like this. In fact, I wanted to convert from my medication to mushrooms and psychedelics, but I don't think my spouse said that's not a good idea.
Not initially. But yeah, so this is, not that this is any part of the topic, but I really just, this kind of music has always been for me for studying. Like, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm a 4.0 student. I was, when I pay attention, straight A student. Sometimes I lose focus and I lose that, but this is what got me through it. Playing the TV on when I was doing schoolwork. Parents used to yell at me all the time, but I'm like, why are you yelling at me? I get straight A's.
Not
So,
true.
you know, leave it alone. And I didn't get any help from my homework, let me tell you. And then, you know, as an adult, always had this kind of stuff in the background, and it just very much helps me focus. I think it narrows the channels in my brain to mindfulness. So, anywho, I see that Rook missed Texas snow, according to Paranormal Witch. 4 days worth of it.
Oh, I see.
All
Wow.
melted. I know your mom was in a snowstorm warning for 3 or 4 days up in Texarkana.
I know when we went
Oh yeah, it did
in
snow.
2012 for Christmas, it was like a freaking blizzard that year.
It was literally a blizzard to us.
Paranormal, I think was probably pretty, but you probably wouldn't want over 4 days of it, right? Or is that
Well, I
just
mean,
me?
if it's already melted.
Yeah.
I guess we can go ahead and call circle. We did a small adjustment. You may notice it when we get to it. Oh my god, that smells good. This is what we used in Joy Spirit class. I just wanted to burn a little bit of it because we have so many sitting around. I'm going to leave this one after we burn a little bit. and put
That
it
was a
together.
really good class. I hope she does some of those in through cups.
Yeah.
Really good class.
So,
All right.
you want to go ahead and start?
Hear me, friends and ancestors from the East. Hear my voice carried on the air of clarity and truth. Watch over us as we cast our circle of safety and love.
See me, friends and ancestors from the South. See my flame of passion and creation seared into the energy of the universe. Watch over us as we cast our circle of limitless possibility.
Feel me, friends and ancestors from the West. Feel my love, fear, sadness, and joy washed into the waters of the rivers of compassion. Watch over us as we cast our circle of connection and motion.
Reach me, friends and ancestors from the North. Reach my feet and my hands, the earth in my toes and the work of my fingers. Watch over us as we cast our circle of strength and grounding.
Know me, friends and ancestors from the Ether. Know my intent, know my heart, and know my spirit. Watch over us as we ask you all to join us in perfect love and perfect trust.
Hear, see, feel, reach, and know that the circle is safe, the circle is sacred, and the circle is cast.
Be it so.
Salvete omnes.
Hey, Shar, welcome in.
Welcome, Shar. Hello.
Thanks for stopping by.
Yes, thank you for stopping by. So we're going to talk about why we do that. And
Yeah, that's
what
our
are-
topic.
What are some of the bigger things about circles and why that is a thing for many, not all, but many pagans? We've got a lot of stuff to go over today. I think we ended up with 4 pages. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Please feel free to share this. If you are online, you want to get your friends over here, please share it. We're going to do this regardless of how many people ever show up, but it's always nice to have additional people in, like Char and whoever, to can come to kind of give us some extra chat topics and some questions. We love it. I like this music.
I do too. I'm digging this.
All right. Rook, what are you reading?
Nothing. Really, the past 2 weeks I haven't. I picked back up in November course, or something that I've been working on, Black Rose Witchcraft. And I really am trying to finish that by December so I can apply for initiation into that group. It's about finishing what you start and seeing where I go from there. So it's kind of kept me busy, but I am still reading Lords of the Left-Hand Path, Forbidden Practices and Heresies by Stephen Flowers, and Psychic Witch. And other than that, school, and we've also both been working on our Cups group with our church that's reorganizing, and that's taking time, and it's a lot of fun. You know, one of the reasons we started doing our Sunday service was during the pandemic when we couldn't get together, and we're going to continue it, of course, but it's really nice to be able to get back together in person. And yesterday was our first ritual, which was Imbolc. Imbolc.
Boy milk.
What are you reading?
I forgot to do something I want to do at the very beginning. So before we do, we know we have a friend, and we talked about this last night in Circle, that has an animal that was traumatically harmed. So depending on which way that goes, we don't know if the dog is going to make it or not, right? But in light of that, we are going to light our blue candle here. Blue is traditionally for a healing color to either help with recovery or help with sending on to the next plane of existence.
Yeah.
Which we're also going to talk about.
It's a pretty little holder. So we got a little
And you
bitty,
can set it anywhere you want up there.
we got a little bitty blue candle,
little chimer.
little chime. This is for the doggy.
Yeah.
MV.
And the people that are going to be really upset about it.
Yeah.
Anytime an animal, I want to move it up
That's
here.
hard. That's tough.
Just for the record. So I don't want it to catch that on fire.
Okay.
All right. I'm reading The Expanse 2 still. Only got one chapter in. One additional chapter this week. I did finish, and I talked about this last time, I finished Mastering Magic by Matt Oren, but I actually have been going back through and kind of pulling some things out that we're integrating, hopefully, into some of our Cups trainings. That is VG and her dog toy.
And she's going at it right when we start, aren't you, baby?
I've been making progress on the 4 Elements of the Wise by Ivo Dominguez, which I'm really excited about. Lots of really cool stuff in there, and I'm actually going to use that to further develop an elements class that I have. It's different than Joy's completely. Joy's is a really immersion in the elements, which if anybody's ever local or if we ever are able to do it remotely, you should join. Thing is, if you join remotely, you'd have to gather some of those supplies because you need the supplies and things to kind of experience each of those elements. But it's a great class.
It's really good. She
and
takes you down and deep.
And mine is definitely the beginner's version of, you know, here's the consorts, here's the things that are kind of similar to the elements, and this is why they are where they are. Kind of more of a wheel of the year than the elements and then the dual elements. So, but the 4 Elements by Ivo Dominguez is actually one of the things that's helping me kind of grow and develop that course a little bit more. Also to go along with the tarot course that we're putting together. Polyvagal Theory I'm also still reading. That I basically read a chapter a month. One of the positive things about flying is that I will have plenty of time to read. So that's helpful. Ongoing project Shadow Work. We're getting ready to work on the 2 last cards. Podcraft, again, still having logistical issues with everything at Cups and all that. That's just being delayed. Cooking stream, we're definitely going to do it. My assumption is that it's probably going to be random and unannounced because every time we try to set a time or date, we have to do something else. I'd like to do it at the end of this month or beginning of March. So one day when we are able and have the ability and the comfort and everything is aligned to do it, we're going to turn this on and we're going to stream cooking and invite anybody over who wants.
Ostara-ish type food, maybe?
I'm thinking, we'll still use the cookbook, Cycle of Seasons, right? But that's where we are. Now, yesterday, we had a ritual for Imbolc. So, you want to talk a little bit about it? How you like to be thrown on the spot?
Oh yeah, I'd love to be put on the spot.
I'm just picking. It
I
turned
run a
out
nursing
so
home,
nice.
so I'm used to planning and to the 100th, the nth degree. No, it was a really nice ritual. It's the first time our group got together in over 2 years. Mm-hmm. Whoever knew that this COVID would go on for 3 years, but we haven't really got together in person for 2 years, so it was nice. There was a good turnout. I'd say probably 20 people.
At least.
And several kids were there,
which
was
always
nice.
Great. Yeah.
And we got back in touch with the land at the church that we meet at. And it was all about this turn of the wheel, letting go and planting seeds. And, a focus of the ritual was we had bird seed, and we put our intent of what we wanted to let go of or see manifest in the next year. And then we scattered them about the land to be carried off as they will by the birds, to be planted in different and new places. It was really nice. And of course we had a fire in the fire pit.
Of course we had a fire in the fire pit.
And then ate afterwards. And it was just really good to be able to get back together again.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed it. We keep rituals simple. There's multiple ritual parts when we say ritual. For example, we have ritual for the circle casting, we have ritual for the working, and ritual for different things. So, we really enjoy those pieces, and we kind of want to talk about it a little bit today. So that's kind of what's coming after our articles that we do.
That's awesome. Dragon 30, almost 30. That's really good.
Nice.
That's a good turnout.
The only thing that I'm a little sad about is not everybody signed in, so our sign-in only showed 7 people, but that's fine. Some people don't want to, but we had a great time. It was nice.
We hope to get up to 100
now
the next year.
This, Imbolc really kind of reminds us that spring is coming. It's not here yet, but that's kind of the whole idea. The sun's a little bit brighter. It's a little bit warmer outside. This is a great time for new beginners, new initiates into things. Seekers, I like I'm hearing a lot more use of seeker lately, which is nice to me because it doesn't box you in. So if you're seeking new things, this is a good time to try new things. It comes from the Old Irish Gaelic oihmilk, which is the ewe's milk, as the ewes are nursing their newly born lambs right now. And it's really closely associated with breed, which is also a very motherly goddess, but by no means does it have to be breed. We've been discussing that a lot lately, how we may be doing something traditionally-ish, right, as being breed or Celtic, because that's where this actual festival comes from, but spring equinox is celebrated all over way before that was even a thing, too. We just don't have any exact evidence of it, right? So the whole point of all that is, practice the way you want to practice, believe how you want to believe, call to you want to call to.
Do you want to share the gist of the piece that you're going to ask to read before every ritual? I think that's really nice.
I can, but...
So we had some problems with inclusion and exclusion, year and a half, a couple years ago. So this new get-together, the new group, is all about including everybody and everything. Doesn't matter if you practice something different. Everything is valid, and we celebrate, welcome, and honor all of that.
Yeah, so that is basically something that I have kind of coined the Grata Omnibus, which is the welcome to all. And it is a plan that we are going to do, and we'll share it on here too, because since this is part of our service thing, kind of related, where we talk about why we're doing the ritual we're doing. And if other people have, so for example, we did a ritual this time around it was Imbolc. It could be, there are other names for these as well in different areas. But we did celebrate it as Imbolc, and we did celebrate it as Breed, as the overall theme. However, it was important to us to kind of speak out and say, if you don't like that or you want to do something different, number one, you can get us ahead of time and we can integrate it into a ritual. If we don't know it, we can't do it. And if it's not our practice, we're not going to know to put it in. But if you want it in there, we're going to do it. Or during the ritual, that we're going to have space for you to call to whoever you want and whatever you want. So that was kind of the idea. And basically, we talk a little bit about why we're doing the ritual as Imbolc with Breed or Bridget or Saint Bridget, depending on where you come from, or Bride. Or, maybe you celebrate Candlemas or the Feast of Fire or something in that realm of Left Hand Path. There's space for you to either out loud or not out loud engage that as part of that ritual. But we wanted to talk about the background, and we want to kind of just share, even sharing some of the other deities that could potentially be involved. And then I just really enjoyed that part of it. It was like a little miniature history lesson along with some discussion and some just thoughtfulness about people there that may not be believing the same way we do, but are and should be welcomed. So...
Well, you've been busy, paranormal. Happy birthday to your son today. You went to class yesterday and still working on Mary Magdalene. You've been busy.
That is a lot.
I think that's really cool that you're going to do a tribute to Ziggy.
That is neat. I love it. I love stuff like that.
And it's all, speaking of Ziggy, I think last time she said we wouldn't mind. Wednesday nights typically on her Discord, if you're interested, just let us know. Send us a message on Discord or in here. We've been doing a B horror movie night.
Like the worst B, like maybe even
worst,
C.
Maybe C that you can imagine. And it's so fun. It's good to get together in whatever form, virtually, in person, and just have a little fun.
Yeah. We literally just hop in the Discord and we share a movie and stream the movie, and then Ziggy kind of runs that, and we have such a good time. It's always a good relax. I'll be in freaking New Jersey this week when we do it, and it'll be nice because I can get my iPad out and lay down in the bed and watch a movie with people that I don't have anybody I know near me, It's really awesome. So yeah, that's too cool. They're all slurping and snorting. All right, so let's move on to news. You want me to start with quantum immortality?
Yeah.
All right.
Please. Yeah.
So if you're interested, I did post in Discord these articles. So I'm going to put it up on the screen just so you can kind of see where it looks like if you look it up. But the link is in the Discord under Sunday Service, I think is what I called it. But this is a woman shares a theory that maybe we never really die, and there's something else that's happening, and everybody apparently freaked out about it because they're like, oh my God, this is just terrible, but it actually makes sense, and I don't want to do it. My anxiety is going through the roof because now I don't know, and blah, blah, blah. So it was really cool. But anyway, there's a theory it's called quantum immortality, and basically means we never really die. Our consciousness during some type of mass extinction event or our personal end of the world, we maybe have a few moments that stay with us, but we move into an alternate reality, a quantum reality, and start over, but we don't maintain our previous memories. And this might be why we have those moments of clarity and past life regressions, and we believe and feel them, and we can understand them, and we have them in our life. So I just think that it's a very interesting thought. It also means that humanity may have ended many, many, many times, and we just don't know it because when humanity has ended, our consciousness, which cannot die, just moves into another quantum being, quantum alternate reality. And one of the things that was important in the article is that we really are hardwired to believe that there has to be something else, right? We have it, but I think there's more than that. I think it's the expectation for me is this can't be all that there is, because if this is all that there is, there's too much beauty in it to behold. Like, it just wouldn't, to me, logically make sense that this is a start and an end. It's just we can't understand the next phase, which is kind of like saying ice doesn't understand what water is. It just happens when it melts,
Good morning, Joy.
Morning, Joy.
Welcome. That's awesome. I love when the good smells are in in the vehicle.
Yes.
And it's natural. It's not like an air freshener. That's really cool. Good morning.
One of the other things that was listed is, what are the 3 ways that we look at life after death? We can look at it from faith, where we have a belief. We can look at it from science, when we're looking for how the brain is acting. And we look at it from technology, where in the future, if we can create and map a brain, which we have done, not a human, but we can map a brain, can we be digitalized? And if that digitalization of us has a conscious thought process, is it ours or is it a new one? So there's a lot that goes into it. And I think the important point for me is that no matter which way you look at it, we don't know. And we probably won't. Because each one has its own question, like faith. Just because you believe it doesn't mean it is true or it will happen that way. Like, I can't believe that I'm going to be a spider tomorrow and be a spider. That's not how it works. So there's a folly there. There's science. Well, the brain stops, and then there's near-death experience evidence that the brain does, or that something does continue after the brain stops firing. But did it really stop firing? Maybe we just don't know how it works yet. And then technology, again, can you ever really do it? So the anxiety that comes from that for many people, I think, is just the new thought of something different than what they thought they believed in before. But for me, it's okay to just be, we really don't know. And that's okay if we really don't know. We're allowed to not know.
It's okay to not know everything. You never will. We never will.
So there is a human connectome project. A connectome is mapping all of the parts of the brain that is underway, which kind of scares me just a teeny bit. But that's okay, because we're a long ways off of doing that for the human brain. So, but anyway, that's what it comes first for me. So before we move to the next article, does anybody have any thoughts on that one? I know we have these delays that we're trying to get through.
Now that Joy's in, we got to get with her. We've all been busy with cups, but we got to get with Joy to see when we can do the cooking stream, because we got to have her.
Oh, Joy, forgot to mention, I don't know if we said this, but Heather and I, when she was graciously leading me through the woods and not leaving me there, we found a couple of trees that were just exploding resin and sap. Well, sap at this point that I'm sure is going to harden soon, up at the very front of the grove. So this is from the grove.
That's awesome.
But we definitely need to get the heart of some of that, because it's already out. Smell that.
That's pine.
Mixed with your vape that you just blew into it, but yes.
Oh gosh, that smells amazing.
All right, you go to your next article. I'm going to run and grab more bubbly.
So I've found a couple of articles from the past week or so that weren't quite as deep, but number one, two famous witchcraft texts were sold for a tidy sum. It never told how much. But in York, England, 2 of the most famous texts on witches and witchcraft were sold at Rare Book Auction in Yorkshire. On January 25th, 23, the sale brought top dollar for the books due to their quality and rarity. David Stather was the owner. He was a practicing lawyer, an avid collector of antiquarian books since his youth, since he was about 7 years old. His retirement from law practice afforded him the opportunity to rescue many books in a forlorn state and have them rebound in a fitting style. 2 famous books on witchcraft, Malleus Maleficarum and Discovery of Witchcraft, were sold out of his collection. Malleus Maleficarum is widely regarded as a text of patriarchal oppression, misogyny, and brutality. Declared false by the Catholic Church in 1489, but its reference and use persisted well into the 17th century. Discovery of Witchcraft, written by Reginald Scott, an Englishman and member of Parliament, was an expose on witchcraft. Scott held the belief that witchcraft was irrational and warned how the public can be fooled by charlatans. I like to be a charlatan.
You are a charlatan.
Scott held the Roman Catholic Church responsible for the irrational spread of a belief in witchcraft. Popular belief has that all copies of Discovery of Witchcraft were destroyed during the reign of James I, son of Mary, Queen of Scots. So interesting.
Yeah. I have a copy of the Malleus Maleficarum. Obviously not an original text. Oh, but that would be beautiful to do, wouldn't it? I just love old books. They're freaking amazing.
Ooh, did you bring out the mead?
I did not bring out the mead yet.
Oh.
I just refilled you that, though.
Thank you. That mead, we need to come as a group and talk about the next
Strawberry
mead to make. I think, Joy, we should go do the strawberry pickings and hit up the brewery.
Do we have we don't have anything
strawberry mead.
We don't have anything next week for cups, do we?
Nope.
We probably need to do a little bit of planning, but maybe we can see if Danielle wants to come too, at least to the brewery. But we need to go strawberry picking for sure and make some mead. Now we have, I know, because now
Cups
you got me.
outing, field trip.
Field trip. You know, I have it in my head now. We have a lot of the guava, which I think is going to be perfected, as long as it doesn't blow up the bottles, because we have it bubblied a little bit, by June. So I think Beltane, the guava, will be perfect. It's a tropical fruit.
That'd be good.
Yeah, I think we have a couple more that might actually be ready by then. But we definitely have, after Beltane, we're going to have, every ritual will have plenty of mead.
Yeah. We got to keep it up.
We're ready now to do strawberry. We might, and I'm going to do a wild berry one maybe today.
We must keep the mead flowing.
What was the name of the place? The honey place? Do you remember?
Walkers, I think.
We have to look it up. If you know the local Florida, Southwest Florida honey or beekeeper, we need to get local. We want to get local honey to use moving forward as much as possible versus it's the relatively local Tampa honey that we use.
And it's over here off Pine Island where it turns into Bayshore. So if it's not really called Walkers, I'll ask Glenn for Skip's contact just to ask him again. My other article has to do with Roman gold was found by a detectorist and other finds connected to Roman deities. In Diss, Norfolk, England, on Christmas Eve 2021, a metal detectorist, Nick Bateman, literally struck gold. Once he was finished with all his Christmas activities, Nick went out with a metal detector for a couple of hours for a bit of fun and mischief. At one point, 3 to 4 inches down in the ground, he discovered what he thought was a metal top, but was actually a Roman earring. Thank you for putting the picture up.
Mm-hmm.
When examined closely by his colleagues, they could see a laurel wreath and an eagle, which is typically found on Roman objects. Bateman's find was declared a treasure by Norfolk County Council and will be on loan for a future exhibit at the Diss, T-I-S-S Museum.
Yeah, you can see the laurel wreath kind of like right there, if you can see my mouse, and then the eagle right here. So very cool, and then laurel wreath over here.
Leatherwood honey mead. That sounds...
Wait, what? Who?
Joy said, Shar, make Leatherwood honey mead.
Tell me about Leatherwood.
Tell us more. We shall look into that. That we shall.
That sounds amazing, actually. That really does sound good.
It does.
So, like I said, we're not going to talk about spring equinox just yet. We'll have another couple of opportunities to do so, but that's coming up in March. Mid-March, March 18th is the spring equinox. Think of equinox as when there's balance, right? We have the fall equinox and spring equinox. And then we have, what's the other one called? Holy crap balls. I'll think of it in a minute. It'll come back to my brain. But we're talking about equinox anyway. So March, it's that halfway point. And its idea is when days are equal, right? And so, why can't I think of the other word? Am I getting dementia?
Solstice?
Thank you, solstice. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. All three of them. Don't even believe in them. But dang, I can't believe I couldn't remember that. But yeah, so we'll have plenty of time to talk about that. Equinox, it's a big deal. We're having a very fun event at the Cups.
Oh my God, I can't wait for that.
It's going to be so exciting. If you're interested in doing something like that, again, if you're in Southwest Florida or you're going to be in Southwest Florida, reach out to us and we can talk about that. Little fee on that, but There will be lots of tea and lots of things to happen there. I think we have certified herbalist that will be there, and it'll be fun. So
I don't know if I want to be a Mad Hatter, which I don't think the Cheshire Cat or what's the other thing that smokes? Caterpillar. Or there's a hare, and I forgot the name of it, but there's a hare costume on Amazon, or a jester. There's so many fun things to do. That's going to be a blast.
Speaking of that, the leatherwood honey, Char, that looks like something I would definitely try. I will say we did make a regular wildflower honey mead, and we spiced it with a ton of herbs.
Ooh, girl!
And it exploded in our kitchen, but it is now down to about 3/4 of a gallon. It smells like dirt, but I'm going to drink it, and it is crystal clear. We need to rack those today. That's something we need to do. But anyway,
that's probably close to what the first mead makers would have used. Something like that.
They would have used picked berries and stuff, I'm sure. I don't trust them. We are still in our universal discussion here. We are still in Aquarius until the 19th of February. This is peak winter. It's a masculine, hot, wet, neutral time. You know, we talk about the age of the Aquarian. These are thinkers and organizers. They're eccentric often, sometimes future focused, often future focused, I should say, and really don't like routine in most cases. As we move into the moon phase, though, today, and up until tonight is the true full moon. So I think it's 6:59 p.m., something like that. So our full moon is in Leo. This is the snow moon, obviously, because there's lots of snow on the ground usually this time of the year.
Not in Florida.
But not in Florida.
Thank goodness.
So our snow moon, gorgeous moon last night. We took some really nice pictures. I might share a couple if I can figure it out. But if you're not in our Discord, we can post some of them in the Pondering Pagans Discord too. But anyway, so we're full moon in Leo. So we've got our Aquarius thinker and we've got our Leo fire working with us today. So today, tomorrow, this is really still an action time, not a rest time. I feel that energy. I'm ready to do stuff. I'm going to get things done. I'm going to move around. Super creative time last night into today and tonight. So if you're somebody that makes stuff, especially by hand or artistically, it's a good time to make things and just make with abandon. These are when best energy will come out. As we move into the week, though, Tuesday and Wednesday, Virgo is going to pull all of that thinking to a stop and might actually halt it. So be very careful with that. Stay grounded. Keep it in control. We go into the weekend then, the end of the week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Libra comes in, and this is where we find ourselves with some anxiety and some potential for really overthinking things. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, be careful. Practice mindfulness. It's going to be hard for a lot of us to stay focused because there's going to be so much in our heads. There's going to be our external sun wanting us to think and process, intuit, and put together. And then there's going to be our moon in Libra who's going to want us the same thing, to have that process, that thinking, that movement. So be very careful that you don't spin yourself up and really get out of control. Sunday and then to Monday the following week, we're going to have that emotional wash. It's going to be in Scorpio, which means after all of this hyper thinking, we're going to need to be very careful that we don't completely overreact emotionally. That's going to be a problem for many of us Sunday, Monday. So as the emotions start swirling up, we're going to have to be paying really close attention to what's going on with us internally. So that's kind of where we are within the zodiac at the moment. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of ways to plan out your week. For me, it's action, think, rest is how this week is going to progress. So, and there is Florida snow on the ground. Very good point.
We're at Pensacola.
It's a flower.
Oh.
I'm learning.
That's cool.
As a matter of fact, I believe you picked a lot of it.
I think I did at the land.
At
the church land.
All right, so now let's talk about. All my stuff's out of order now. It's so funny. This ritual circle.
Yeah. What is a circle? Why do people do a circle? What's the purpose? Hey, Ziggy!
Oh, Ziggy Dreadful. Well, you're Pisces. Let's just say, and I know you're being sarcastic, but I'm just going to throw it out there. Let's say your Pisces never did The moon in Scorpio is going to help you out with that. So you might, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you might want to zen out somewhere. If I was a werewolf, this is the weekend I'd be chained up, not the full moon. I'd rather be out in the full moon than Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Werewolves are exciting.
But yes, we wanted to talk about rituals and the circle and chants, which, by the way, came before the ritual last night. We were already going to talk about chants and stuff. So pretty interesting timing. So with the circle, you hear us, and most of you guys know, but we're going to put it on video anyway. For us, the circle starts as, opening and creating space. That's first and foremost. It has a lot of other things though. When you first start and you set up your circle, whether you're alone or with other people, it's like you're delineating an in space and an out space. I hate saying good and bad, but a space specifically for good and then a space that's not specifically for good. Or whatever your working is. If it's baneful, that's fine too, but you're containing it within that delineation of what you're in control of and want to be in control of as a group.
You probably need some protection and reflection if you're doing baneful.
And with any kind, you'd want some protection, in circles, we generally have people who are protectors that kind of stay outside and watch.
Guardians.
And guard. If you don't have that, then of course magical guard and protection is something you'd want to do too. But the circle delineates that space within where we're creating magic and without. And so how do we do that remotely? Just like anything else, imagery. We're here. When I envision us creating our circle, when we call it at the beginning, if you hear us, I'm envisioning a circle around our whole house that's kind of made this space where we are doing our ritual magic. Last night at the ritual, we created it around the circle, around the fire pit, because that's where we were doing our magic. And when we step in and out of that circle, in Wiccan practices, you generally have to cut a section. But that's a Wiccan in most cases, not always a requirement. Although I do find it beneficial to energetically and thoughtfully do that, because it sets your mind that I'm going outside of the ritual and then I'm coming back into the ritual. It kind of helps your mind adjust. And so one of the things that I kind of wanted to talk about with the circle is that it's not just creating the circle. It's got a mental component to it, a psychological component, a sociological component. It lets everybody in the large group know, hey, we're doing this together. We're in this. It also lets you know that I'm focused on the task at hand or the working that we're doing, and helps set our intentions and keep our intentions more specific. That's one of the things that I really do love about Circle. Right now with you guys, when we call Circle, I picture myself, and like I said, with our house in Circle, but I also picture a bubble around each of you that talk or chat or are present that involves you, and it is part of an extension of our circle. And that keeps our brain on, this is what our purpose is, this is what our intent and our focus is, right? I think those are some really important things for me, that it's literally the most original ritual. We ritually create a space, and if all we do in that space is talk amongst each other and have joy and speak and enjoy heat from a fire, that's ritualistic. May not be the repetitive ritual or with a high ceremony that many people think of, but it does have ritualistic purpose.
Can I read a couple points that I found on it?
Uh-huh.
So I wanted to look up a couple things before he got into the circle. And what is the definition of a circle? I wanted to see if it kind of corresponded to what magical people use it for, right?
You mean like a geometrical definition of a circle?
Mm-hmm. So Merriam-Webster defines it as, number one, a round, plane figure whose boundary or circumference consists of points equidistant from a fixed point, which is the center. And two, a group of people with shared professions, interests, or acquaintances. Well, that does tie into what we...
That's physical, magical, and sociological, psychological.
As magical people do. And so why do we... I want to see, think about why do we call a circle? It could be to prevent spirits or entities from disrupting spell work, or to ensure that your energy does not disperse if you lose focus during spell work, which kind of can go along with the cutting yourself out. The circle keeps the energy gathered during working contained, so you don't lose it before completing the spell or the working.
Yeah, I personally think the cutting of the circle is less important than the re-entry, because that's where you fall back into your form. And I thinks. Haha. I just see somebody has a birthday. I missed it. Happy birthday, somebody.
Whose birthday? Oh yeah, no, Paranormal Witch's son.
Oh, happy birthday, Paranormal Witch's son.
Yeah, he's gonna have a dinosaur birthday. I think.
That is awesome.
Right?
I want a dinosaur birthday party, not a surprise one.
No, you don't do surprises.
I do not.
Where is it? Right, it's a dinosaur party, right? Paranormal?
Yeah.
Kind of funny. Yeah.
Okay, I missed it.
A dinosaur birthday.
So I think that's what's important about a circle. So if you want to cast a circle by yourself and get your feet wet if you're not comfortable and it's your first time, just envision a little circle, or some people use flour. You can use actual baking flour to make a circle. It doesn't have to be big. Some people use salt. I don't want to use salt because we're usually outside and that damages the land. It's not necessary.
Flour would be cool. I'd like
Flour
to do
would
that.
be chalk if you're on on a street or something that can take chalk, or powdered chalk. But flour would probably be the most economical and the most friendly. So
Just take a sifter and.
that's real kitchen magic there. But regardless, like the whole purpose of circle for me is not just the magical component of it, which is obviously important, but it's also really important to have the social component and the psychological component. It helps keep me focused. And I remember yesterday when you look across and you see all those people in circle doing stuff, thankful to amazing Danielle who started the chants that we were doing, which we're getting ready to get into. You could see how the circle works and why a circle, not a box, not a square, not a triangle. Because we're all focused on the point in the middle. Kind of like when you take a magnifying glass and you focus it on one point. That's where our energy was focused, and it was in and up. So amazing.
Ziggy asked, what are your thoughts about how the circle doesn't only just keep things out, but also keeps things in?
I mean, I think that's a very important piece of it, because let's just say we are doing a small circle that we're going to be doing some magic in, where we're trying to bind or stop something. I've done binding magic. I've done tongue bindings and lashings.
And that worked, right?
It worked, like immediately and measurably.
Yeah.
I hate to snuff out this the candle for the doggo, which, Joy, I don't know if you were here when we did that, but we do have a blue candle going for the doggo, but it's about to catch this piece of paper on fire.
We did a blue candle for V and her doggy this morning.
We kind of started with that, but just FYI. But yeah, so absolutely. And even if it's not baneful magic, it keeps things in. To me, it's kind of like when I do Reiki, we start with the feeling the energies and the meditations where you build the energy in your hands, kind of like a ball of energy. And I can feel that, and that's kind of the same thing. I don't want that bouncing around, out and around. I want it focused on what the group is focused on or what I'm focused on. I think the circle helps with that. So, yeah, and that can do it too. So, that's another thing with circle. When we cast a circle, it's very wide. A lot of people are in that circle. Not all those people are going to be in good moods or have good things happening. And it can sour a ritual, or it can sour an energy, and it can get messy. But I think that's okay if it's recognized. Open the circle properly. Remeditate, reprocess, talk, and then regroup the circle and recall the circle.
I think that's what's really neat. I like, and when we started going to Cups and Joy's rituals, how there's always been the incense carried around to kind of, I think it works to kind of clean anything that's negative.
Yes.
I don't know that that's the main purpose. It's very enjoyable, but I think it does.
That's
it really
the cleansing.
does.
It's ritual cleansing. So it makes me wonder, though, would it be neat, and could we do, because we've used water before, too. One way to make a blessed water is to have water meditate in a clear bowl, clean water, preferably filtered or spring, and then you meditate over the water. You say blessings over the water, and then you can add things such as rosemary, lemon, things that are considered cleansing. And you can make blessed water, and then you can do the same thing with water. But I was thinking, in ritual, one of our rituals, maybe Beltane or some of the later ones, we can start a standardized circle process that's a little bit easier, so it's not as confusing. And it will have 4 people as ushers. Earth, fire, water, and wind.
Ooh, that's kind of cool. Tell
And
me
each
more.
one will do incense, one will do like the water
Water,
part, one will carry the
fire.
candle around, and one will
Salt or something?
maybe not salt, but probably just some semblance of soil or plant.
That's
Maybe,
kind of cool.
So we'll have to think about that.
Ooh,
That way there will be a
I
little bit
like
less
it.
confusion and having to rewrite a ritual for circle every time.
That's cool. Yeah.
So that way we're cleansed of the elements. I like that. We'd have to vote on it though, because if other people don't want to do that, I'm not pushing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's kind of it with circle.
Do you have any thoughts? Anyone?
Yeah, I like the water and joy. I remember, I think it was Holly. Maybe it was the Thousand Goddess ritual a few years ago where she did that with the rosemary. I think it was your rosemary twigs that she had in the bowl, and that just was really powerful to me. It was very nice.
So what do you guys do to prepare the eggshell? Like when you use an egg, do you like put it aside and just rinse it and let it dry first before you like compound it? I'm curious. They're saying that the eggshell works really well
For Earth or for Circle?
for the circle. Crystal
Yeah, I don't
for
know.
Earth.
We might have to
Ooh.
do that and start charging eggs like $30 a
The
dozen.
eggs are like $30 a dozen.
That's not the cheaper way to do it.
Let's bless the flower and distribute
Oh, Dragon Dancer, good idea. Having a crystal.
for Earth.
We could find a really nice charger, crystal quartz, and just dedicate it specifically to that.
Anna would be good
And
with
then as
that.
you end each thing, you set it on the altar. Starting in the east, go around, exit the east, altar.
Ooh, rinse and then bake it. Okay, cool. Huh.
Neat, nice, neat, both. So that leads us to our discussion of chants, which is something we do usually within Circle.
Yep.
And the thing that chants, to me, that is noticeable is, especially like last night in Circle, but we notice it every time we do it. It's one person, and then another, and then another, and then another, until everybody's kind of in. And then the people that don't necessarily feel comfortable chanting or singing, you see them, or even drumming, whatever it is, they start doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And it is truly, to me, manifesting magic. That is how you get on the same frequency to do magic.
And raise
it puts you
energy.
in step with other people, and it starts building and building energy. And every time we've done it, the end result has been pretty massive.
I don't want to say never, but I will say I do not enjoy counting and holding breaths and all that. But chanting, like singing, that is a real way for me to connect and get into a meditative state. I really enjoy that. The breathing, I'm trying to have a better attitude about it, but it doesn't relax me very much. With the chanting and the singing and walking, especially while doing it, really does. I like that.
Like when last night I had an urge and we were doing the We All Come From the Goddess to walk and chant. We all come from the goddess.
That would be cool. And walk
And
around.
to her we shall return. But the tempo was too slow for me to do that, so I could never get it started. But that's something I'd like to do. We have ideas. It's fun stuff. Whatever works for you. It's that repetition, that constant beat and drumming that gets you into that mindset. So that is kind of the thing. So chanting, a lot of people are very uncomfortable with chanting, but I'll tell you, if you feel like you can't hold a tune, it is well known, well, it is not well known, that almost every human can properly tune based on sound. The problem is they don't listen. So when you are feeling uncomfortable and somebody else is tuning, try to go next to the person that's in tune, and you can match their tune when they're oming or when they are singing or chanting. And eventually you'll catch the hang of it because, myself included, we don't all sound good when we sing, but we can find the tone.
Yes, Joy.
We can find the
We
tone.
do. Very true.
What's Dirge mode?
It's just we gotta get past that. Like I shut it down. Like as soon as there's even with the stuff I'm working on now, whenever they start saying take 3 deep breaths as you're breathing, count and hold, I shut it off.
Let's start with why can I give you my thoughts on that? Because it is
Yes.
part of chanting and meditation, right? For me, that doesn't work. It can't be, all right, we're going to take 3 deep breaths.
Right.
It has to be silence, nothing, breathe in.
Yeah.
Breathe out. And it has to be coordinated, because when they say to me, now we're going to take another breath, you break it. You've broken the whole thing. Like, remember when we did ours? We just did it and recorded it. We didn't give instructions. Say, all right, we're going to take 3 breaths in, and we're going to take 3 breaths out, and then we're going to go, okay, you ready? Take a deep breath. Because for me, I'm already taking a deep breath. And then I can't breathe, and then I breathe out when you're breathing in. And it's frustrating. What you need to do is you need something that's not instructions. It just needs to, like, guided meditation that doesn't have instructions, where it just says, breathe in. Or every time you hear the bell, breathe in or out, whichever mode you're on. So you'd hear a bell. You're breathing in now. You're breathing out now. I may be breathing in. That's just my outside look on it. Try that. Because, like, in my mind, when I count the 1, 2, 3, 4, I start counting it really fast. I need an external source giving me the time, but you can't tell me what I'm gonna do. You just are doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That would be cool, Dragon Dancer. Maybe we can incorporate that in the next ritual, the walking and chanting to call
my
the
body,
circle.
Fire my
I would
spirit,
like that.
air my blood.
I really like to try it.
No, wait, water my blood. I used to know that by heart, and I lost it. That's a good one. We need to write those down.
Mother of mercy, mother of light.
Earth my body, water my blood, air my breath, fire my spirit. That's what it is, isn't it? Where did my pen go? Oh, I have 2 right here.
Chanting is cool.
It is.
I think it's the best, in my opinion. But
Earth my body. I'm going to write these down, because what we can probably do is also set...
yes, Ziggy. Earth.
Yes, and the thing is, if you know Lamaze, or if you're running, you know there is a different cadence to your breathing in and your breathing out. But as you have more endurance, if you exercise, that changes. So breathing in, you can do really slow. Breathing out, we tend to breathe it out all at once. The whole point of the meditation and process is to slow that breathing out to get into a balance, right? So it's like, usually for me, it's breathe in, I can manage that, and then when I breathe out, I'm like, I'm already out of breath. I can't keep breathing out anymore. That's because you got to find that balance. You got to slow it down on both sides. And then when you get into that, you get to the holds. But I don't like to count to the hold. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I need a ding or a noise to do that. Like in my head, I'm not saying 1, 2, 3, 4 as I'm breathing in and 1, 2, 3, 4 as I'm breathing out, because that messes me up. It's the count has to be external for me.
That's awesome, Joy. I would love it. I would go to that class for sure. Maybe that would be neat. The next ritual, if we could start in the circle, go out and chant and walk all the way around the labyrinth, all the way around the land, and come back and end up back in the circle.
We can make that an Esbat.
And we've cast the whole circle around a big circle. I don't know, maybe not. It sounds like it'd be fun.
What about doing that as an Esbat? Now, Esbats, just if you don't know, are any type of secret meeting, usually by a coven or a group, that is done in celebration of something other than the greater Sabbats. Generally, greater and lesser Sabbats.
That'd be interesting.
So you usually have the 8 Sabbats, and then you have any of the other ones are Esbats. So if we do a full moon ritual, it's usually an Esbat. We plan on doing that. That might be a good one to do on the next full moon.
Cool.
Just do we'll do like a land communication chant walk.
Ooh, spiral dance after maypole. I love it. I'm trying to get so I'm another thing I will never do in public thus far is dance. So
I will.
I did about a month ago an exercise for the course I'm working on. And I went to an astral temple, and I was just dancing in there like crazy, like I've never done in person. So I'm trying to work on that part.
If it helps you, and this is another thing, because chanting can include dancing and movement. You've probably seen me do it when we're doing something private here. I just start doing this. Like I don't know why I've always done that when I'm nervous, but I also do it when I'm in movement. And then you just eventually start going into other movements as you're doing stuff. It's pretty fun. Very freeing when you do it in front of other people and don't give a shit. You just let it all out.
Woo! Walking the Chants on land, yes.
Yes.
One of my favorite ones is Hail Earth, Mother of All, and just saying it over and over. Hail Earth, Mother of All. Hail Earth, mother of all.
There's more to that chant.
Yes, but just that simple piece. Just go and sing it. I could sing it like all day, and I have, and I know I'm driving you nuts. Moon Dancer!
Yes, we noticed.
Woo!
So that's two things that
Bring it
I've got all
on.
walk the land with chants.
Walk the land with Chants. That would be awesome. Moon Dancer.
Yeah, so we need to get a library of chants and get them onto YouTube.
Yes.
We're gonna do that.
And get Leslie to teach the class.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
If we can
So-
convince her.
So that'll be a big piece of it, yeah. So again, the whole purpose of the conversation, that was regardless of where you
thank
are,
you. It's
the
magic.
chanting and all of that stuff is very, very big on raising energy. Not when we say raising energy, it's not just like building energy. It's getting us all on the same frequency so that our energy amplifies. So if you've ever heard one speaker playing, let's say one tone or one sound or one thing, even one song, you add a second one, you get a much more powerful, rich song. And it's not more powerful, it's just duplicated. And we duplicate that energy, and that's what makes it so massive. It's just so much fun. So,
Woo! Thank you,
know.
Joy.
that's going to be a big part of it. And I think, there's going to be a lot more of that kind of stuff for cups. And then, we'll share it on here as much as we can, because there are some people who do want to keep it private, which I completely agree and understand. There's some parts that should be private. It just is what it is. But we can share the topics and discussions with those of you that can't go with us, and perhaps can use some of those things in your own practice. But that is really the meat and potatoes of what we're going to talk about today, was that the chanting
Awesome.
and the circle. So anybody have anything to add or additional or question?
That'd be awesome to check that out. The website has a chant section. And
It
get some
does.
more on there.
I
Yeah.
want to get, and that it does. I've seen it. We need to get more on there, but we also need to organize it better, because they're listed all out like one big page, and it's really hard to navigate. And we need to get some audio versions of it that we can sing along with when certain people who lead those are not present.
I want to also find the chant that Danielle was leading.
Google the words; it'll come right
I
up.
like it. About the flame and the
It was really
passion
good.
and the courage. It was.
I've
really
heard that.
nice.
I've heard Leslie do that one before. She did it like
Did she?
on one of the previous ones. Yeah.
It's just good stuff. Really good
is.
stuff.
All right. So if you have anything to add to that, please do. We'll
Please
still take it,
tell
but we're going to
us.
switch over to tarot here in a minute. I just got to go grab a tarot deck.
To Tarot.
Not tarot. I just need to get a good deck.
Gosh, like singing has been a good form of meditation for me. I don't do it out loud a lot, but and walking and singing like at dusk is really a cool time. Is this Palo Santo? You got burning?
Yes. So, if anybody has a tarot deck that they would like to donate, let me know. Because I'm almost done with my tarot class, and I'm
Ooh.
hoping to have it start early March.
You remind me of the babe. What babe?
The Labyrinth.
Babe with the power. The power of voodoo.
Hoodoo, you do.
Do what? Remind me of the babe. Sorry. That's a cool deck.
Move
I
your
haven't
stuff
seen
so
that.
that it can make
Yes.
sense.
I have to move my things.
Move the candle, the incense thing forward.
This?
The incense thing. The candle with the incense
This. Okay.
forward. Then center that. The owl's almost perfectly centered.
I have not seen this deck. The
Me
Labyrinth Tarot Deck and Guidebook.
What were you just saying? I forgot.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I was talking about walking and singing at dusk.
If I was gonna say something like I really wanted to do, that would be really fun.
Well, it smells good with Palo
Oh, tarot
Santos.
decks. If you have a tarot deck that you'd like to donate, that we are going to give away.
Ooh, Reclaiming Chance Starhawk. I'm going to write that down. Do we have a pen? Yes. I'm going to write that down, Joy.
The Labyrinth.
Labby deck for Tea Party, a must. Ooh, yeah.
We can do Library deck for a tea party, but I do also have literally the Alice in Wonderland, Beautiful Creatures, and the actual Alice in Wonderland deck. So I have the Disney Alice in Wonderland.
Reclaiming by Starhawk.
I had the Lucy Cavendish Alice in Wonderland. More than happy to bring them both. These are decks that I have that people can read from. I'm okay with that. But yeah, so we will read. Anybody who wants to read? Are you making? Oh, you're doing that.
Oh, I was just writing them.
Write down the names for me.
Let's see, my love. Hold on. Where did it start?
Dragon Dancer.
Not a funeral march.
Who wrote that? I need to see that.
I think it's Moon. I think it's Moon Dancer. Yes, because she's XXX, I believe.
Thank you. Yeah, so we cannot do funeral marches.
So Ziggy, I want to make sure she's the first one. Yeah. So we got Ziggy, and we've got.
Oh, it is Ziggy. You're right.
Hold on, Ziggy.
Sorry, Ziggy.
Paranormal Dragon. Hold on. So Ziggy, Paranormal Dragon. Ooh, I've got to hear that. I haven't heard that song yet. That was Ziggy, Paranormal, Dragon, Lady Dick, yes. Char, enjoy. All right. Y'all just tell us when we get to you if you want just a general or if you would like a specific question.
The Black Tarot by Victoria Eva is a really pretty deck. Are you sure you'd want to part with that? And then the point is, I'm trying to collect a bunch of decks for anybody who wants to provide a deck, as many as you want. I'm going to provide at least 10, maybe 20. And I'm going to do a tarot class, and the tarot class is going to have a nominal fee, and these decks are going to be donated if we have enough for people to learn on.
After they're cleansed, of course.
Well, duh. Where are you going?
Oh.
I'm not rubbing it in, but we're going to drink one of our blueberries that has now been... This one's what? Probably a year, almost 9 months old now.
Miss Ziggy, do you have une question spécifique? Or you like le général?
Stupid. Hold on now.
I'm French all of a sudden.
I gotta get ready.
I wish.
Look how...
But not after Moon Dancer told me how much the clothes are there. I couldn't afford to live in Paris.
No. We will cleanse the hell out of any it, but just I'm throwing it out there. You don't have to. I'm going to provide a bunch. But I wanted to have a good solid set of decks for each person to have their own to kind of learn through while we're doing the class. And it'll be considered donation to a church, congregation, I should say. And that's kind of where that's coming from. I do want to see if I can find a bulk purchase.
Yeah.
Of decks where I can bulk purchase like a whole bunch to give to people, but that's going to be a while.
Like this one.
No.
This is a beautiful deck for your class.
Not cheap enough to bulk purchase.
This is my Morgan Greer.
It's a great deck, but I'm not buying that for everybody.
Oh. I could help donate. If you don't get enough donations.
It'd have to be ongoing, though.
Yeah. Moon Dancer is... a lovely lady in our circle.
That was cute.
Did I get it right? I'm not trying to be funny, but is XXX Moon Dancer?
For the comment, that has to be her.
Yeah, I think it is.
I think we know that by
Yeah. I can sense her energy pretty good. I love it. Her and Joy. I think I could pick out blindfolded.
Yep.
I would hope I could.
Or just by
them.
reading text with no name, we could pick out both of them.
Miss Ziggy, do you have a question, my love?
Let me take that box back. Let's make sure you're centered so we know exactly where to lay the cards. There we go.
She says, I'm. Oh, I was transferred recently with it. Oh, seems like we can be cordial.
But I'm weird.
Okay. Can you be cordial? Can you be cordial with...
Is it worth it, basically?
Your ex-love.
The question, let me make sure I have it right, is do you really want to spend the time being cordial with your ex? Or do you need to cut it out completely?
That's
what I'm
accurate?
I'll be honest. I never will believe that once an abuser, always an abuser. But I will also always believe that the abused always has the right to stay away from that person forever and should never feel obligated to do that. So if you feel obligated to be cordial, I don't need the cards to tell me no for that. Just going to throw that out there, but I know you know that already. So we'll see. Because people,
Is it worth it?
People are people, and some people, you know, you're not going to get a second chance with me as a lover, but you'll get a second chance with me as a human. We can see that. So let's see what the cards say on that one. This is a good one for the labyrinth.
Lots of mutual friends. Oh, yeah. Is it worth it to remain cordial?
I mean, you can be cordial and still hex him. I'm just saying.
That's me. Do I have a good relationship with Google? Some XXs. I love it. I knew it was you, my love. Oh.
God, the meat gets better every time we try it.
I know maybe not with fire. I don't know that you're still comfortable doing that, but I think it would be really cool, not to put you on the spot, but just a thought for you to do your spinning at the Mad Hair Tea Party. I don't know if you would consider XXX.
All right.
I giggle like a schoolboy when I say that. I'm very immature, I know. I do apologize. Let's see.
All right. I'm feeling ready to pull a labby card. Let's see what we get.
Is it beneficial to the worth it to remain cordial? Ooh, what you got? These are cool looking cards.
That's the Eight of Wands. I'm assuming wands, so it sticks, whatever it might call it. So as we know, eights are hard work cards. So I would say if you do, it's going to take a lot of work on your part. It's going to have to make an effort. One of the things that's is consistent for me with 8 cards is they never give us the yes or no answer. But they do say that always, for me, that yes is the answer if the work is there. So you may have to actively do something to make it work and to be cordial. Maybe an olive branch extension of some sort, or a conversation. Hey, you know what? We have this, literally lay down the law, because 8 is all about hard work and all about that functional recreation of the foundation or of the 4 walls that hold things up. So look, dude, dudette, whatever your ex is, in between or other. We have the same circle of friends. We have the same group of people. I'm telling you what needs to happen. We need to be cordial with each other. We're going to make that work because we're both human beings. And if you have a problem with that, get the fuck out of my way. I'm going to trail you. But really, in seriousness, 8s do say that you can achieve whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, that you're asking about, as long as there's a good foundation and work underneath it. So it's not simply being cordial. It's going to take a little bit of a little, I don't want to say extraordinary, but outside of ordinary effort to make that work the way it needs to. But it will work. And I would say it's worth it too, because the 8 doesn't show up when all of the stuff that you've done is for naught. You know, you would have had the strife in the 5s, 6s, and 7s already. We're past that with the 8. The 8 says you're already getting to the point where you're going to be able to do this. It's just enough time has passed. You're in a better spot for it. So yes, it's definitely something that'll be worth it. It just needs rules.
But it's not going to work if either of you are too my way, everything's my way, and don't give anything. So if you or he or she are the emperor, you might have to back down. This could also be saying that somebody's got to take the first step. So what I would take it to mean, it could work if it's what you want, but it's got to be some give and take, and one of you are going to have to take the first step in the right direction to make it work. So it seems like it's a yes card to me. I
would venture to say that if you put the Emperor together with the 8, the Emperor probably is going to represent more of his need to actually make some effort. And if he's willing to do that, it's going to work, and it sounds like he might be.
Is he willing to make the effort, Ziggy? Only you know.
This
or
effort,
she.
This effort's not like effort to rebuild a relationship. It's just effort to be cordial. I'm not talking that, just to be clear. From the 8, I'm not getting this like huge. You're gonna have to like really work crazy at it. It's just it's got to be there.
And love that, Lynn. All right, let's bring some fun. We're going to be walking and chanting and spinning, and the Mad Hair celebration is going to be awesome.
I'm so excited for that.
So you think that's the male that he needs to take the initiative, the step to do it?
Yeah.
And
well, it's not even the initiative. It's the work is going to be on his part.
And neither of them can be like absolute. It's going to have to be give and take as far as like a consideration thing goes. And it would be a good thing if you're in a small town. You know it's always good to give a second chance. You know, that's never a bad thing. I mean,
it is when you're a doormat.
I won't say you can not regret it. You could regret it, but it's never bad to give somebody a second chance.
And I know you're intuitively reading, but when you think of the emperor as a traditional, he's the emperor. He is the one that pulls the strings. He says, where does the warrior go to fight the battle? Where does the battalion go? Where do things meet? How do we spend our money? How do we make decisions? So the emperor has to be organized and set and put together. And it seems like from the 8 that you're already there, and that it's going to be up to him to make that happen. But again, I think ultimately it's worth it. I feel like it's worth it.
I hope that helped, Miss Ziggy. PW!
Yeah.
PW wants to know 2 job interviews this week, so if I'm going to get one of them to make money to support my kids. Let's see. Okay.
You want to go first on this one?
Sure I can. Let me just do my little thing here.
Much love. I really enjoy this deck style. The Labyrinth deck, it's not the best.
Char. Let me write Char down.
It's not the best imagery I've seen.
Gotcha, Char.
The style of it, but the cards are very nice, beautiful cardstock, yet flimsy, or not flimsy, bendable enough to shuffle really well. Like, I'm pretty impressed. This is the cardstock I would want to use if I made my own deck.
I want to see more of the cards out of there. I'm interested to check out that.
Oh, I'm doing a tarot project. If you if you have a full deck to donate it, please. It'd be great.
Didn't you already say that?
Yes, but that's not the new thing.
Okay, what's the new part?
I've been working on this for a while. I only have 2 of my own deck, but I'm working on a deck made up of other broken decks. So if you have a deck that no longer has all the right cards that it needs, I want those too.
Oh, that was clumsiness, not jumpers.
Oh, that's you.
Yes, I gotta stand for a minute.
Yeah, these chairs are not the most comfortable. And they came with the house, so they're probably pretty old. The card stock is just perfect. I love it.
Pretty. The backs of the cards are really pretty.
Yeah.
I haven't seen enough of the images yet, but looks nice.
The thing, I like the images that are Labyrinth related, but what I don't enjoy is I'm not a big fan of, like, if you're the 4 of Cups, you have 4 cups. I like picture images of what the 4 of Cups represents as opposed to the standard pip card of just the images of cups. That's just me, though.
All right, PW. Let's see.
Yes, I have lots of projects, PW.
All right, PW. Queen of Pentacles. If you have put work into it, and it sounds like you have, and by work, I mean applying, which you've obviously done because you've secured 2 interviews. Congratulations on that. That's a good first step. Yes, I think you're going to have a couple choices. It may even be that you have the choice between the 2. But the main point of the Queen of Pentacles is that you've done the work, you've really taken your time, you've planned, you've organized, and it's going to pay off. Now, that means that you'll probably get one of the jobs, but like I told somebody last night, just pay attention to everything they tell you. Make sure you get a written job offer before verbally accepting as far as pay, benefits, etc. Make sure it fits the your overall needs, meaning if you need insurance, is the salary right, is the time flexible. But this is telling me you've done the work, you are likely to get an offer.
Yeah, and to have 2 court cards pulled for you is definitely a financial positive. So I in addition to that Queen of Pentacles, I pulled the Knight of Junk.
The what?
The Knight of Junk. That's the Earth.
Oh, the Earth?
That's
Okay.
the Earth for the Labyrinth. So you've got 2 court cards in your reading
some more
about
burning.
Earth. What?
I need some more burning
Oh,
in a minute.
the thing's almost
Oh,
done.
let me charcoal.
Let me do another charcoal.
Yeah.
So the Knight of Junk, if you've heard me before talk about knights generally are this.
Yes, ma'am. Morgan Greer. I love that deck. Sorry.
I've done all the work. I have put in the energy and time to learn everything I can about this thing. And I'm qualified for this thing, but I don't have any experience in this thing. So between the 2 jobs, I would say one of them you don't have as much experience in, and I would almost venture to say that that's the one that you go for if you get an offer.
Yep.
Being that these are both Pentacles and Earth-based cards, I would say you are going to get an offer. Because this is representative of the court of your finances, the court of your ability to provide and have stableness. If you think of Maslow's hierarchy of need, you need safety, security, home, and shelter. You need a job to have that. So this is saying, yes, you're going to get one of the jobs, maybe even both, but put a little more effort into the one that you feel you might have a little bit less experience in because it's going to give you the bigger benefit. That is what I would say. So I think you're going to get both. Did you pull a Queen of Pentacles?
Queen of Pentacles.
Yeah, I think with the Queen of Pentacles, you're going to get both. And then the Knight is saying if you have, you're going to have a choice. And you should pick with the one that has a little bit less experience with because it's going to have a bigger reward for you. And better feeling overall.
I hope that helps. Paranormal, just be sure to look at the whole picture because you'll get an offer, but is it an offer you want? Right?
Correct.
I'm looking for Miss Dragon. Did you...
The other important point to that is, though, let me just reiterate, is that with 2 Pentacles, the answer to the question is yes, you're going to be able to continue to support your kids regardless of whether it's these 2 jobs or something else. You're going to be able to continue to support your kids.
Something will work
Yeah.
out.
The Pentacles don't show up double for that, especially in the court. You've got the Queen and the Knight on your side.
All right. Well, I'm glad. I'm just letting the charcoal heat up a little bit. I know you don't like when I do the cleansing by the fire because I'm likely to catch things on fire. I'm just letting the incense heat up so I can clean out the cards. But I love, me too, Lynn. I think about this deck. What I love about it is the vivid colors.
Here you go.
Those colors are just freaking, it's just amazing. And I like the backs too. I like the back of the cards with the stars.
You gonna cleanse or not?
Yes. We are on to Dragon. I was just wondering if Dragon had a specific question or if she just wants a general. Either one is fine with us.
Y'all know I had to look up the book on the last one on Labyrinth because I didn't know what junk was. It was either Pentacles or Wands. I couldn't tell because the other one was
Oh gosh,
Poles.
that smells good. All right. General?
General.
All right, madame.
Witches.
Shall you pull first on this one or?
I can.
Doesn't matter to me.
6 of Poles.
6 of poles.
All right. So, 6s have gotten us, especially Poles, have gotten us past the little point of whatever we're thinking about, whatever's in your mind in your general reading. That is kind of been stressing you out a little bit, but really moving forward. It is a work-related thing. This is a career-ish thing. Whether that means it's something that you're going to do work-wise or volunteer-wise, there's some concern, there's some maybe some anxiety about whether it's the right thing or it's going to work out the way it is. And the 6 is basically like, hang in there. Yeah, it'll be fine. It's going to make it. It's going to be worth it in the long run, but it's going to suck a little bit at first. So we go through this 6 of Poles, and again, we're in the theory or the realm of things that we create, that we do with our hands, that we make, that we provide with, that we have our creative or our passion with. But it also represents career, and in this case for you, I think that's where it's kind of focused on. And I'm not talking about career like what you're going to do for money, but career is in what you're going to do with your time. And there's some anxiety surrounding something that you've been working on recently with that time. And it's going to be fine if you stay with it. It's going to be fine if you don't, because you're going to find something else that's going to work for you. I don't think this is going to have an impact on you financially, whatever this is. So it's necessarily specific to something that you're probably passionate about, I would say, and that you're working on, and you really wanted to do it, you really want to do it, but then you have something in the back of your mind that's saying, this doesn't really necessarily seem like what I'm really looking for. It's okay to keep looking, and it's okay to not keep looking at this point, because either way, it's going to morph into something a little bit better that meets your needs.
Oh. 6 of rods. Oh, cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Well, and something new's coming along. I don't know if it's for fun or if it's for work or if it's for something spiritual, but embrace it. Enjoy the newness and try it. If you get an opportunity this week to do something new professionally or for fun, magically, or I don't know, a new technique on working the land. You mentioned doing something about the land. Do it. Try it. Mm-hmm. And enjoy the newness of the Fool in doing so. Don't think too much about it. Just do it.
I love when the Fool shows up in any read, because it basically colors all, and the same with the Magician and the High Priestess for me. They color the rest of the reading into the amount of energy and newness something's going to have for you. If it's the Magician, it's going to be fun. If it's the Fool, it's going to be foolhardy. If it's the Empress, it's going to be very, very engaged and invested.
I feel like with my fire self, I'm constantly on a fool's journey. But you know what? I love it. I love new things. I love to learn new things. I love to try new things. I'm just always hungry and enjoy stuff like that. So.
Yep, and Shar, you're up next for a general. We got you.
Whoop, whoop.
Rook's gonna pull your first card.
Is it to me? Let me just do this real quickly. All right, what does Shar need to know this week? Let's fell back on that one.
I heard so. We got a motorcycle ride to do later.
Yeah.
We gotta get lunch. I'm hungry.
Me too. El Tarasco.
Let's go.
What does Shar need to know?
I think we definitely need better chairs.
We do. Ooh. It will be righted if you live big or small. If you have felt wrong or done wrong, it will be righted karmically this week. What should be, will be, and justice or resolution will be had. In fairness, it doesn't mean it's what we want to happen, but a situation will be righted in the next 1 to 2 weeks. I love her red cape. Oh, that's another pretty one.
The moon.
Ooh, and maybe it has to be revealed. Maybe that goes with my card.
Yes, so, of course they go. The moon is really important, especially with what Rook just went over, and that something that you're going through right now is kind of hidden even to you. So whatever it is you're looking at, whatever it is you're working at, the moon is saying there's this vision that needs to be seen. It may be a little bit harder to be seen because it has to be seen only at night. But if you use the guidance of the full moon, guess what? You have illumination, and that's what the moon is doing for you, is illuminating. Right now, especially in the full moon today, of all days, That piece that Rook is talking about, you need to go in and do some look-see, and some peeking around with the moonlight as your guide, and the moonlight is shining the silver, or what do I say, contrasting the darkness that is around it, so you can find that piece that you're trying to work towards. So in general, the moon comes up when, again, you have something that's in your spirit or in your mind that needs to be seen, but you're not seeing it, or you're overlooking it, or maybe you're not looking in the right place. But only you can find it using the light of that moon to kind of illuminate it. Use the sun, it's going to wash it out. You won't be able to see it. But use the moon, it's going to light it just enough to have that little bit of contrast that's going to help you see what it is you're working on right now. So yeah, if you do lots of magical stuff, today would be a great day to go outside and just do a quiet meditation and kind of think about what's on your mind and how you're going to do things, and then put it out to the universe. It'll come back exactly how it needs to.
Just like the moon last night was illuminating things on the land, the labyrinth specifically, it's like it lit it up like it had a spotlight on it.
You sure did.
But we wouldn't see things in the labyrinth normally during the day, or normally. Yes, Joy, I think we're going to have to drink some water and put that off a little bit.
Oh yeah, we're not going right after this.
No, you are right.
No.
And then I have Miss Joy. I hope that was helpful, Char. Miss Joy, do you have une question spécifique ou le général? And thank you all for hanging out with us today. We really appreciate you all stopping by and spending some of your Sunday with us. Are you going to pull for
Joy?
Miss Joy first? I'm just waiting to see if she has a question.
Universal Guide, 10 of Poles.
Ooh, let's see.
So think 10 of Wands. So this is ultimate completion of some creative endeavor. This might mean that your current creative path might be shifting a little bit, because you're hitting the point where maybe it's a little too much, not meaning too much to do, but too much in like, I've really kind of mastered this. I've been doing it a lot. I've made a lot of these things, and I'm getting a little tired of it. I need to switch up for a little bit. The 10 of Poles, or Wands, I should say, great card when it comes to creativity, but it usually means fulfilling the end of that creative line, which ultimately results in going back to the Ace of Wands, which is restarting a new creativity process, or switching the focus maybe, or even just blending it a little bit better. Instead of doing all of one thing, do a little bit of a lot of things at this point, because you've mastered quite a few different ones. I could see this meaning something like, if I'm a painter and I'm painting in one style and I'm really good at that style and I really love it right now, but I've created so much of it, I'm getting a little bored. Maybe I'm going to still paint, but I might paint with watercolor instead of acrylic. Or maybe I'll do both, but I need to add something else, some of my other creative endeavors in, to kind of push through that process, and so it doesn't get so stagnant. That's what I'm seeing from the universe on that 10. Is just the height of the creativity and needing to throw in some other creative endeavors with it, not completing or stopping the one, but breaking it up a little bit and kind of doing a couple of different kinds of things.
All right.
Yes, this is going to hit us. We might be doing dinner. We're cooking anyway for lunch.
Yeah.
So we'll have that whole time.
True. Yeah.
To drink water. I'm not putting my baby at danger.
Oh, thank you.
It's a motorcycle. He ain't on my motorcycle. You love it.
All right. Let's see, universe. What's for my joy? I like your card. Okay. I get the 4 of Swords. Don't let too many thoughts get in your brain or distract you from your goal. I don't know what the number one thing is. I know you are probably working a lot right now, but don't let the thoughts be too many or distract you, confuse you, or discourage you. You're focused. You've got them above you. They're sorted out. Just one thing at a time and do what's most important to you. That's what I get from that card. Don't get frustrated. Right now I'm showing that your thoughts are pretty balanced, so just keep that up and focused on the one or two most important things. What? You're looking at me weird.
How am I looking at you weird?
You are.
I love that card.
It's a really pretty card. So I hope that was helpful to everybody. Did we miss anybody? I don't think so, but if we did, feel free
Wouldn't
just
be the
to
first
holler
time.
out. And we'll certainly pull a couple cards. If not, then I think we're ready to wrap up, if that's everybody for today.
After these messages, we'll be right back. I enjoyed the Labyrinth Tarot, actually.
That's a really cool deck.
It's a neat deck. So,
I know it's a little bit of a delay, so I'm just waiting.
yeah, if you have any topics you'd like us to go over in future episodes, please message them to us and feel free to share them so that we can, kind of see what's going on and kind of cater to what it is that you have needs to. Even if we don't know what it is, we will research it and share it with you. Just because we want to kind of keep it going, I want to kind of make sure that we're, doing stuff that makes you happy and excited too. Plus, we also will eventually run out of ideas and need help, and we don't want to beg. I'm just kidding, kind of.
All right, well, that's everybody, I think.
Yeah.
You make me smile too, Joy. All of you do.
Always.
And we appreciate. We gotta get together for the strawberries and the brewery, and we can either do a small group or maybe ask the people from Cups that want to go. They're welcome, but we definitely have to go. So thank you, everybody. Are we meeting in the Discord after?
We are, and if you don't have the Discord link for Two Pondering Pagans, it is now in the chat room, so you can see there.
But thank you again all for joining us today. Take care this week. Have a good week. Be safe. Try not to get down about anything. Keep it light. And I want to do my favorite part.
I was gonna say it's like saying
Ooh, I'm
goodbyes
not gonna
before you
miss-
did the favorite part.
So you can see there. And all for joining us. It's not coming up where I can see it. I have to get it to where I can see it.
Have a good week. Be safe.
You can mute your phone.
All right. I don't know how to do these things.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
All right.
All three of them.
So
I don't
this
even believe.
is my favorite part. Please check out all of these awesome creators, witches, and wonderfuls from the Cauldron Witch on Instagram and from the Cauldron Witch Tarot on Instagram. Stephanie usually goes live about within an hour, 1 p.m. Eastern time. Check on Instagram and check. She gives on point and fire tarot readings. Paranormal Witch on YouTube and Lady Rose 819 on Instagram. Check out her blogs on deities and paranormal things. They are awesome. Unexplained Possibilities on YouTube and Unexplained Possibilities on Instagram. We all know and love Melvin, and his interviews are freaking awesome with different people, different creators, different members of the community on all things unexplained. Ziggy Dreadful, Queen Ziggy on Twitch. Check her out when she's streaming. It's a great time. It's a lot of fun, and she often will ask people to join and then play. Mavethil is also on Twitch. I don't know if he's streaming, but search him up and check out his schedule. Addie Estate on Twitch and Instagram. Mr. Malice on YouTube and Addie Estate on Facebook and Twitter, who along with the guy to my right, I think on your screen is to the left of me, Mystic Salon, do a Friday night podcast. And what's it called? Is it still Malice Experience?
Right now it is still Malice
Okay.
Experience. We're still working on making some changes on that, which we will do. And again, just to point out, I know I have not been present as much lately, mostly due to work. I'm trying my best, but I got to breathe a little bit. I'm not leaving the podcast. Just don't want any rumors to be around there. That's not the case. I literally am just working at the time we do it, and I can't do it on Saturdays. So we just have to grin and bear it. But I will hopefully be organized back together March 3rd at the latest.
Cool. And we are Two Pondering Pagans on YouTube and Facebook and Two Pondering Pagans on Twitter. I'm Rook Tempest on YouTube and Rook_Tempest on Instagram. Oh Lord, excuse me. And this guy with me is Mystic Salann on Twitch and Salann Tawin on YouTube. Have a blessed day, a great week. Manifest what you want to, and I hope you find some enjoyment. And remember to take time to laugh and have fun this week.
Yes, and as always, salvate omnes. We're not saying hail thyself. We're saying hail to the all. Because this is the everything to each of us who are all part of the same big pond. Have a wonderful, wonderful, maybe cesspool for some. Wonderful day, wonderful rest of your weekend. Check out Ziggy Dreadfuls on Wednesday if you want to do the movie night with us.
It's fun. Get your popcorn.
Get your popcorn. I have lots of popcorn in my luggage.
Just don't let it get stuck in your teeth. That's a pain.
See you in a few minutes over in the Discord 2 Pondering Pagans group chat.
Bye, everybody.